Welcome back. We're looking at a review of that new Netflix film, The Rip. It brings Affleck and Damon back together, but the final verdict is skip it. So let's dive right in.
Let's do it.
Okay, so the first thing, I think the writer has a sharp eye, but they're pulling their punches by hiding behind, a wall of plot summary.
Yeah, it feels a little too safe. We get all this detail about the TNT unit, the whole squeeze setup, and it crowds out the actual critique.
Exactly. The reader doesn't need a Wikipedia recap of Hialeah.
Mm-hmm.
They need to know why that setting failed the story. The suggestion here is pretty simple. Cut down the setup so your analysis has room to breathe.
Right. So, for example, instead of describing the bullet-riddled City of Progress sign or, the exact amount of cash in the attic.
Yeah, who cares?
You could use that space to focus on that mid-film moment. The one between Teyana Taylor and Catalina Sandina Murillo.
That's the perfect example. The draft mentions their conversation about economic hardship, but then just moves on. Don't just list it as a plot point.
Explain it.
Yes, explain why the film's total lack of interest in that conversation is actually a huge flaw that hurts the whole narrative.
It's the difference between just listing the ingredients and actually describing the taste of the dish.
Which brings us to that observation about the numbers later on.
Oh, I caught that too. Okay, so the critique needs to connect its specific observations more clearly to the final verdict.
Right.
So the weakness is this. The writer highlights a moment where Matt Damon's character quotes these inconsistent numbers, 150, 250, 75. And the text says it seemed like something worth noticing, but then.
It just hangs there. It feels almost timid. If you point out what looks like a continuity error, you have to tell us what that error means.
It's a dead end otherwise. Make that detail work for your argument. Is it lazy writing?
Say that.
Is it a character detail? Argue that. The suggestion is to explicitly link that observation to the film's overall quality.
Exactly. Argue that this inconsistency is a perfect example of the boilerplate production you mentioned. Use it as hard evidence for your skip it rating.
And if the production is that lazy, then we need to be a lot tougher on how the talent is used. Or, not used.
Or not used, yeah. The argument regarding squandered talent needs more concrete evidence to be persuasive.
It really does. I mean, the cast list is incredible. Affleck, Damon, Steven Yeun, Kyle Chandler. But the critique relies on these really general descriptions.
Stoic faces and brow furrows.
Right. That doesn't land the punch. It's not enough to convince me.
It weakens the entire piece's authority. So the suggestion is, don't just tell us the talent is wasted. Show us the gap. Show us the distance between what Ben Affleck can do and what this script actually let him do.
Describe the void. So, for an example, instead of just vaguely mentioning a hint of melancholy, find a specific interaction, a scene between Affleck and Damon where that famous chemistry is just totally absent or it feels forced.
Yes, break that scene down. By dissecting one specific moment like that, you effectively prove the film is just a run-on-the-genre treadmill. You're not just stating it as an opinion anymore.
And that's what shifts this from a summary into a really hard-hitting review.
So, to recap, shift your focus from summarizing the plot to analyzing its failures. Second, weaponize your specific observations, like that numbers error, to prove your larger point.
And third, provide concrete, scene-specific evidence for big claims, like wasted talent.
It's a very strong foundation. It just needs to be, a little sharper.
Absolutely.
We would love to see the next draft. Please submit your work back in for more feedback. Thanks for listening.